Hi guys, Pudn here. Welcome back to another Forza Motorsport race on my channel. Just give you some information on Watkins Glen. Nicknamed the Glen by motorsport fans, Watkins Glen has been known as the mecca for North America road racing since the actual road course was built in 1956. In 2015, the Glen saw a complete repaving with the surface brought down to original road door in some places. As much as a slice of America as a great place to go fast, Watkins Glen is a classic home of motorsports for all reasons. I'll also give you some information on the car I'm racing today. 7 litre natural aspirated V8, 615 brake horsepower, 560 pounds of torque at 759 newton meters, a mid-engine rear-wheel drive 5-speed transmission. The T163 built. This example was acquired by new Lola North America distributor Carl Haas. Liveried in the bright orange Simmons colours, it was entered into the opening rounds of the '69 Canadian American Challenge Cup for Chuck Parsons. After passing through several hands, it was acquired by a long-time owner in '85 who has since raced it in historic events. Okay, give you some information on the race. I did actually do some practice. My qualifying was around second or third on the grid. I didn't actually have a chance to qualify, so I just started at the back. And I'll just give you a quick rundown and some voiceover of the race for you today. So as you know, we are racing at Watkins Glen. The information on the track is as follows. The full circuit is actually 3.37 miles, which is 5.42 kilometers. So started at the back, a bit aggressive on the first corner. I was hoping I wasn't going to get hit by a couple of the cars, but actually with us all in being a high, well, we are actually in S-Class lobbies. I was hoping that the driving would be quite good, quite professional. So credit to everyone who was in the lobby at the time. I did have the race pace to race at the front. As you can see, there was actually a few incidents at the beginning of the race, so I was just trying to capitalise on any opportunity. This one was a 9-lapper with a pit stop, which I was hoping that that may not be the case, because I don't think pit stop is actually mandatory. But anyway, due to the velocity and the viciousness of this car, the way the car drove with all the assists on, it was quite hard to keep on the track at the beginning due to the constant spinning of the rear tyres. So aggressive, such a fantastic car to drive though, great fun. But as you can see, the first lap didn't go quite well. A lot of people struggling for grip, to be totally honest with you. Slight contact of that car on the left. Don't know what happened to him. I think he had made a mistake and then ended up contacting me on one of the rear quarters of the left hand side of the vehicle. Run a bit wide on that corner there. So coming up to start the end of the first lap, and as I always say in all my videos, as you know what I'm going to say, just getting into a nice steady rhythm and try not to make any mistakes and just knock the laps in. So coming down to the penultimate corner of lap 1, we're currently up into 6th place from 12th, so got quite lucky there with people making mistakes. And we've got a guy, don't know what his name was, went past too quick, made a mistake. I think he hit the wall going into the pits, I'm not sure. There's just so much going on at such a quick pace in this in this race. It was quite hard to keep concentrating. Up into 5th place now behind this guy called Resonarch, I think that's how you pronounce it. There was only a couple of us racing the T183s in this lobby. I think there's only 2 of us, could be 3. All different types of cars. Didn't really just pick the car at random, just thought I'd give it a go, and by all means it was, I think personally, the best choice for my driving style. Quite aggressive, just had to take it calmly in the first couple of laps just to get that heat up into the tyres. I did fill the car up for the entirety of the 9-lap race. I think it can't remember the total duration. I think it ended up coming up to about 17-18 minutes duration. I think this was the prototype series on the featured multiplayer menu if you are interested in taking part. So coming round to the end of the 2nd lap, I'll just try and keep on top with the overlay in the top right hand corner. Can't really keep up on the information of how many laps I've done, but this is as far as I know is the 2nd lap. So up into 4th place. What I wanted to do now was just get trying to catch the other guys in front. But if you look in the bottom left hand corner, you can see that first place has got quite a bit of a healthy lead, and these guys are battling, so that's a good opportunity for me to catch the gap, because the more the battle, the slower they go. You see, it's quite competitive up at the front of the race. So just coming up onto lap 3 now, into turn 1, just trying to get the markers perfectly, not overdrive the car, try not to get any penalties. Dory 89, he's actually got a 5-second lead now going into the start of lap 3, and we've got Henke 78 in third. I'm not sure if the guy, the racer in second, was called, but hopefully that'll come to fruition when we get closer to the cars. So coming up on the black vehicle now, Henke 78, not 100% sure on the particular car he's driving, but it does look like quite a very low profile vehicle of that era, because we are looking at the early 60s, late 70s cars. Very low to the floor, low downforce, obviously keeping a lot of straight line speed with that type of car. Does look very nice, reminds me of the old Jaguars back in the day. Could even be a Porsche, not 100% sure, well before I was born anyway. So catching him now, just hoping he's hoping he's going to make a mistake, feeling the pressure by me, but the tyres, it really was quite difficult to to manage, if that's the right word to say. But just constantly looking down at the car graphic in the bottom right to make sure that my tyre degradation wasn't too low. Slightly tapped him there, and if you look at the replay, I think he went into the pit lane because he did brake really early there. I didn't expect him to slow. It wasn't it wasn't intentional. I'm not that type of driver. I do try to race as fair as possible, but the stewards thought I was a bit over aggressive and gave me a 1 second penalty, which is fair enough. So hopefully I didn't ruin that guy's race. Just gone past the back marker there, not sure what went on there. I think there's a lot of cars on the track now. They've just decided this is just going to be treated as a practice run, maybe go again in the lobby after this, because you know a lot of the vehicles are invisible, and there's a lot of people actually getting a lot of voice chatter as well, which I should have muted the lobby because it does put me off sometimes when I'm trying to concentrate. But I am actually using a weird but not a pad, and that's the reason why I'm actually racing in cockpit view, and also for the immersion factor. It's a lot more, I think it's a lot more enjoyable to watch than it is just the third person mode. It's a shame that the camera facilities in this game aren't quite the same as Gran Turismo or iRacing, but just doesn't give you enough options, I think personally, but that's just a personal preference. So coming up on second place now, watch your back. This guy is in a similar car to me. It's got a quite large aerofoil on the back like mine has, so up on the inside of them there now to take second place. I think he was struggling for the tyre wear, but if you look in the bottom right hand corner, you can see that my tyres are starting to go orange, and it was down to the decision what I was going to do. I was either going to stay out or I was going to come in, so just came in straight away. The guy behind me, if you looked in the replay, I think he made a decision on what I was doing, because I don't think he was going to come in this lap, but he just thought maybe the best option would be to come in. There's first place just ahead of me now, that Dory guy. He's just coming into the pits for another set, I presume another set of mediums, but I did find out during the race, I think honestly he actually had a different tyre strategy to me, and I won't actually tell you that till towards the end. Maybe you can figure this one out, because there is some surprising events that happen. So I think this is actually the start of could be lap 4. I've got 6 laps of fuel. It's only a 9 lap race, duration around 16 to 18 minutes, and Dory has actually got a 4.2 second lead, and I was feeling quite confident in this race. One of the tracks I do enjoy, Watkins Glen. Oversteering it a bit too much though onto the grass. Stewards didn't decide to give me a penalty, which I was quite happy about. Running a bit wide there as well, cars jumping all over the place, just trying to get heat back into the tyres with it coming on the outlap. Cars sliding everywhere. You can imagine driving this thing in the wet. I think it just wouldn't be one of those things that you'd want to do. I think you'd spend more time in the barrier than you would actually be on the track, because very, very, very aggressive car. I think the way cars were in those days, this is actually the pure adrenaline of what car racing is all about. Because today's Formula 1 cars, with all the assists and engine management and traction control and everything, just, I think personally, just takes a bit more of the overall feeling and the realism of driving cars in today's Formula 1. Anyway, that's just a personal opinion. So coming up on the last couple of corners, trying to get into competitive lap times. Coming round to, my best is currently a 48. I think Paul was actually a 48, but I know I could actually do a 47 round here. Thinking, just looking back at the replay, I think it did actually get into the 47s. But we'll just have to check that at the end of the race results. So first place now is 3.4. I've knocked a second off him within a lap, and current estimates reckon if I can do with three more laps, maybe 4, I could actually catch this guy towards the end of the race. But if you do look in the replay in the top right hand corner, you can see that third place is also challenging me for the podium as well. He's currently 1.5 seconds behind me at the moment, and as you can see, due to the movement of the steering wheel, I am actually fighting this car pretty much every corner. I don't know how hard it would have been using a joypad, but honestly the steering wheel was enough of a challenge just driving this car. But definitely recommend having a go, guys. It's great fun all round, and a fantastic experience. So third place is catching me 1.2 seconds. I do end up do make a few mistakes. I am feeling the pressure myself. I run a little bit wide on that corner. Coming round to the end of the, I think this is actually the end of the lap 6. It could actually be lap 5, not 100% sure. So I do apologise for not keeping up to date on the statistics side of the race. And looking ahead, I can actually see first place now. He's just going round the last corner towards the start finish line. Just trying to keep the pressure on, push as hard as I can. Keep eye on the tyre management and the fuel's okay. Also trying to keep third place, hopefully within a second. So we're back up to 1.9 seconds now. Watch your back, blunt swords in fourth. He's very competitive as well. The bottom left hand corner of the map, if you look down, you can actually see basically first and fourth, we're all pretty much on the back straight now. We're all on the same part of the track. So that's how competitive this race has been. Watch your back is gaining again. I think we're getting that yo-yo effect where you find that you're stronger on certain parts of the track compared to the other guy, and then you're weaker on certain sections. So you have that like yo-yo effect of the times fluctuating between 1 second and 1.9, 2 seconds. Dory is still keeping his competitiveness up to 3 seconds, and I put up at 500ths on, I think that could actually be the third sector of lap 6. Does actually get a bit interesting now. Still up 400ths on the sector 3. I think he's coming up on a back marker, so happy to say that Forza have actually addressed this issue by keeping people who aren't in the race invisible, but you can still see them on the track, which is good for obviously them taking part to see what's going on as well. It's not like they need to move out the way like it does happen on, for example, iRacing, where you know it's more realism than arcade, as I've said before. So coming round, I think there's only a couple of laps left. Dory is still keeping a competitive edge but still lapping on a consistent 48s. He's still got a 3-second lead. I was thinking now that maybe this would be my position. I just got to fend off third place, and if you look in the top right hand corner you can see he's catching me on this lap, because I did actually make a mistake on turn 1 to the start of this lap, and he's down to half a second now, and he will definitely be in my slipstream, catching me very closely, coming up to the little chicane section now. And it looked like Dory's actually made a mistake, maybe that on that section itself, and also the graphics coming up to show me how close third place is towards me. I was just trying to keep it calm, and I was going to be covering my trying to keep it on the inside of that apex, but we ended up running a bit wide, and third place did exactly the same. And what you find out now is that something that you wouldn't really expect racing these racing cars in particular is tyre degradation does play a massive part now. I keep looking in the rear view mirror. My tyres are pretty much on orange now, and I'm starting to struggle for grip. Watch Your Back is also having the same issue, and the guy in first place, Dory, who's been exceptionally aggressive and very consistent to keep that lead, is coming down to 2.5 seconds. We're coming into, I think this actually could be the last lap now, and I'm hoping that maybe I can catch him, because Watch Your Back has lost his tyres grip completely and dropped off to over nearly 3 seconds. For some strange reason, first place went into the pit lane, and I couldn't actually figure out the reasons why until the end of the race. So with me having a good look at the video before editing, I did actually realise that he actually had the soft compound on, and he was doing a 3-stop stint, which I thought was a bit peculiar. But anyway, you know, you've got to try these things if you want to be competitive. Understanding the reasons why that he did have pole, and it was also lapping extremely quick, I only presume that would have been the answer. Either that or he just thought that he couldn't continue any further on the current tyres. As you look up in second place now, the guy in third, who's now in second, is actually dropped back to nearly 5 seconds. So basically his tyres are completely shot. There's no grip at all, there's no rubber left on the tyres, and I'm actually extremely struggling as well. The car is just basically just sliding all over the track. I'm losing so much time, and as you will notice towards the end of this lap, I was hoping that I was going to finish, not crash out, but you will notice how slow I am on the last couple of corners. Just basically, I felt like the car was aquaplaning in every turn. I had to slow down considerably to manage the car, to get it around the last couple of corners. Also my heart was pounding because I knew that I wanted to try and win this race fairly and competitively and as cleanly as possible. I've only got a 1 second penalty for that little transgression at the beginning, due to that little contact by one of the competitors. So coming up the last couple of corners now, second place has dropped back to 8 seconds. He obviously thought what I could do was stay on the track, but I think this car was just slightly better on the tyre wear. So coming over the finish line to finish this race, we actually finished in first place from starting 12th on the grid. Current lap time was a 48.6, 17-minute race. Watch Your Back at a 47, Dory had a 48. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. This was actually extremely great to race. Definitely recommend you giving it a go. I really do hope you enjoyed this one. Sorry for waffling on it as again a bit too much, but I'm trying to keep it interesting for you guys to watch. But appreciate all your support. Don't forget to consider subscribing. I'll put a video up in the corner if you are interested in watching more, and I'll catch you on the next one.